First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
The hot and humid summer weather pattern will continue into the weekend, and along with it, some showers and thunderstorms. This is a live look at the slick roads on Interstate 10 outside of Lake City. Those thunderstorms this week packing hundreds of lightning strikes across the area. These are pictures from Citrus County Fire Rescue's response to a house fire in Dunellen. Firefighters say a reported lightning strike sparked the flames just after 8 Wednesday morning. The UF weather team says it's going to feel like more than 100 degrees outside for the next few days. This is WFT's First at 5. I'm Mary Avlonitis.
And I'm Isis Snow. The rain chances pick up as we head into Sunday. UF forecaster Reuben Roberts is live in the weather studio tonight. Reuben, you're tracking when the rain will provide some relief from the heat.
Right, so we are tracking the current storms and showers affecting north central Florida, but as you can see, there's not much activity going on right now. I mean, we do see some showers that are in Clay County, and we did see some activity in Jacksonville, a little bit in Marion County, but I did want to bring to your attention total strikes, a new graphic for us, because apparently we're at 1,000 lightning strikes over north central Florida yesterday. So that's something to look out for as we track the showers and storms in north central Florida. Now tonight, storms are expected to wind down. If there is any rain after 6, the chances of that are likely to fade. And as we go into tonight, we are expecting a hot and muggy night. Now coming up tomorrow, it is going to feel like 100 degrees outside. It is going to be a hot and muggy stretch for us moving forward, and we are projecting spotty rainfall over the course of this weekend.
As search and recovery efforts continue in the aftermath of deadly Texas flooding, scrutiny intensifies over claims of delayed alerts and emergency communications.
State and local leaders are working to keep the focus on finding survivors and not who is at fault. Maribel Gonzalez reports the hope for finding survivors is dwindling down.
Thank you very much.
A notably shorter news conference today in Kerr County, Texas. The only speaker, Kerrville Police Sergeant Jack Lamb, giving only a brief update on the dead, the missing, and the ongoing search and recovery efforts.
It is a methodical search which ensures that every area in an area to be searched is covered and searched, and that no stone is left unturned.
Unlike previous daily briefings, a number of county officials did not attend, as questions and concerns swirl around delayed or non-existent emergency alerts ahead of last week's catastrophic flash flooding.
Did the inability of police radios to communicate directly with county radios hamper rescue or recovery efforts as those waters rose?
I don't have any information to that point.
And when asked what changes have been made ahead of the next heavy rain,
I think that's an important question, and that's something that we're going to be looking at.
Kerr County Sheriff wasn't at the podium this morning, but said Wednesday a response timeline will come.
I want that answer, and we're going to get that answer.
In answer, some flood survivors say they already know.
And I didn't have any alerts until the water was already inside the house.
There was no advance warning.
Texas's governor says state lawmakers will hold a special legislative session later this month to discuss flood warning systems, emergency communications, and a victims relief fund. In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
A coalition of faith and community leaders launched a campaign to stop a new detainment center from being built at Camp Landing in Clay County. Following the opening of Alligator Alcatraz in the Everglades, a second center was proposed to be at Camp Landing, just 35 miles northeast of Gainesville. The state is selecting contractors to build it this week and intends to open the facility soon. The campaign plans to raise awareness of state plans to expand immigration detention centers throughout Florida and highlight the public opposition to it. They will join forces with community organizations and activists for a press conference at the federal courthouse in Gainesville. Letters written by coalition members and signed by more than 25 congregations, 17 community groups, and 100 individuals will be released at the press conference. It will be held tomorrow morning at 11. The coalition is fighting for state, county, and local officials to join them in opposing the state's plans.
Gainesville police arrested a 43-year-old man over 1,000 miles from where he had a warrant for child sexual battery. Officers responded to a call about trespassers at a pool on Northwest 21st Avenue Wednesday afternoon. Investigators say that's where they found Daniel Schaefer. Detectives say after giving a false name, they were able to identify him with the help of FHP. He was taken to the Alachua County Jail.
The Levy County Sheriff's Office says a Bronson man is in jail on the charge of second-degree murder after shooting his business partner. Investigators say 34-year-old Justin Stevenson was arguing with another man Tuesday evening. Detectives say the victim was recording the argument. The Sheriff's Office says Stevenson pulled out a handgun and shot the victim in the back. Stevenson is being held without bond.
A man is dead after a car crash involving a car and a pickup truck pulling a trailer. The wreck happened Wednesday afternoon in Suwannee County. Troopers said the car drove into the path of the pickup, flipping the car on its side. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene, and the pickup truck driver was taken to a hospital to be treated for minor injuries.
A Daytona Beach dog is getting lots of much-needed love. He was rescued from the bottom of a garbage compactor. Pamela Com reveals how he was found and the search for who left him there.
You can see like it's up here already. You probably have to climb about just four stairs.
A rescue that's hard to believe. A dog found trapped next to piles of trash at the bottom of a compactor.
When you lower it down, he was all the way down there at the bottom. There was more trash in there, so he was like all crammed with the trash.
Brandon Arroyo, who also works for FWC, says the trash chute at his Daytona Beach apartment complex sits too high for the dog to fall in on his own. He believes someone threw him in.
I couldn't believe it because, I don't know, he's just, and it's a big, good-sized dog. I mean, we weighed him, he's 55 pounds, so you have to lift this 55-pound dog and throw him in there.
They think he was stuck there for about 12 hours overnight until they found him Sunday morning. Getting him out took time and patience.
And he was about 4 feet now below me, and I was able to throw the lead over his head and then pull him close enough to where I could scoop him up.
He may not have been hurt by the compactor itself, but he's dealing with some existing health issues. Heather Jones says they're working to get him checked out. And while he's been doing better, just walking past the compactor was enough to scare him all over again.
We walked over here and somebody had just activated it, and he was traumatized. He had his tail right up between his legs, and he started crying and shaking immediately.
They named him Daytona after the city they found him in, and while he still needs time to heal, he's getting a whole lot of love. Arroyo and Jones are now determined to find out who did this.
Brandon and Heather are currently fostering him and say he's already showing signs of trust. The couple says they are raising money to cover all of Daytona's treatments.
Expectant mothers in Florida can now apply for a temporary parking permit, giving them closer access to their needs. The new law went into effect July 1st. The permit is valid for up to 1 year and costs $15. To apply, expectant mothers must complete an application form and have it signed by their doctor. The form is available on the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles website. Coming up next, when First at 5 returns, a courtroom battle over birthright citizenship. The setback a federal judge just handed down to the Trump administration.
And the tariffs talks are heating up as President Trump comes down on several countries who produce copper. We're back after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
A federal judge handed President Trump a setback in his effort to change birthright citizenship, blocking his order, but giving the government time to appeal. As Yamish Alcindor reports, the judge stayed today's ruling for 7 days so the Trump administration can appeal.
Today, a federal judge in New Hampshire dealing a blow to President Trump's immigration policy, once again blocking his administration from enforcing his executive order limiting birthright citizenship.
We still have tools that we can use to fight back against illegal, unconstitutional governmental policies, and the courts have the power, just as they did today, to say no and to bar illegal government actions.
The judge, appointed by President George W. Bush, agreed to grant class action status to a lawsuit challenging the executive order to change birthright citizenship as we know it. The 14th Amendment of the Constitution says any child born in the U.S. is a U.S. citizen. But on his first day in office, President Trump signed an executive order that states any child born in this country must have one parent who is a citizen or legal resident to get citizenship. The order has faced numerous court challenges, and last month the Supreme Court handed the administration a partial victory, ruling federal judges could not issue nationwide injunctions on individual cases.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
But the High Court's ruling opened the door to class action suits. And today, while granting class action status, the judge said it was only for the babies who would be affected by the order. This all stems from President Trump's hardline actions on immigration, one of its key issues, which has led to mass deportation raids and nationwide protests.
This morning is a huge win, and it will protect more than 150,000 children that will be born in the U.S. this year and make sure that they are given their constitutional birthright citizenship.
Yamisha Sendor, NBC News, Washington.
President Donald Trump has announced a 50% tariff on all copper imports taking effect August 1st. The president said the move will help the country build a dominant copper industry. According to the London Stock Exchange, America imports about half of the copper it uses, most coming from China, Chile, Japan, and Congo. Copper is a key component in a variety of goods, including electronics, batteries, and defense equipment. The tariffs could make those goods more expensive. Currently, there's a 25% tariff that applies to most imported cars and parts, and a 50% tariff on all steel and aluminum.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Macy Meis. Canada basketball announced their 12-player roster for the 2025 FIBA U19 Women's World Cup. On that team is Florida's incoming freshman and absolute baller, Nyadiang Yeech. Yeech is a 6'3" rising freshman from Calgary. According to ESPN, she was ranked as the 59th prospect for the class of 2025, and her experiences competing for Canada's junior national team helped her elevate her game. She was a member of the U18 team last year, where she earned a silver medal with the team, and Canada at their U18 AmeriCup. And this year, this future Gator alongside the team is looking to bring home the gold. Several Gators are just 3 days away from possibly achieving their lifelong dreams of playing ball at the next level. Those dreams could be achieved through the annual MLB draft. Since the inaugural picking of prospects in 1965, Florida has contributed 255 draft selections. This includes 20 first-round picks. In Kevin O'Sullivan's time as head coach, the Gators have had 110 draft selections. That's 43% of the total, and 14 first-round picks, which ranks second nationally. Florida averages 3.6 draft picks per year, and they've produced at least 4 MLB draft picks in 15 of the last 16 years. Speaking of Gators in the pros, Jack Caglione was a first-round pick last year, and last night he showed everyone why. Not only is Caglione's 466-foot dinger the longest home run hit by a Royals rookie in the StatCast era, but it also tied for the 10th longest home run by any player, 4th longest by a Royal at Kauffman Stadium. Caglione showed off his potential right off the bat and continues to impress at the major league level. And before we go, the Tampa Bay Rays acquired right-handed reliever Brian Baker today from the Baltimore Orioles. This was done in exchange for the 37th overall pick in the 2025 MLB Amateur Draft. And that's all for sports. Stay tuned for one final check with the weather after the break.
Let's take one last look at our 7-day outlook. So Friday, let's highlight Friday. Friday is the day to be outside. That's the day where the chances of showers and storms are the least likely. Now, going into the weekend, you are playing your odds as the chances of showers and storms are more likely, but they aren't a swamp out day. We shouldn't be seeing showers and storms from morning till nighttime. Now, the temperature is expected to be in the high to mid 90s, so it is best to
Well, thank you, Reuben, and thank you everyone tonight for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and all of our social media platforms. Have a good night.